Life doesn't always unfold according to our plans. Sometimes we work hard and still face disappointment. Sometimes doors close when we expected them to open. And sometimes challenges appear when we least expect them. But here's something important to understand. Your success in life isn't determined only by what happens to you. It's determined by how you respond to what happened. Think about it for a moment. Have you noticed how some people seem to move through difficult situations with confidence? They face setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles, yet somehow they continue moving forward with strength. Meanwhile, others allow even small challenges to stop them completely. What creates that difference? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's mindset. The strongest people aren't people with perfect lives. They're people who have trained themselves to believe that no matter what happens, they will find a way through it. They trust that every experience has value. They trust that every challenge carries a lesson. And when you start thinking this way, everything begins to change. Because when you believe things can work out, you start behaving differently. You begin noticing opportunities where others see problems. You begin searching for solutions instead of excuses. You begin taking action instead of waiting. And slowly, your entire reality starts shifting. Imagine this situation. Suppose you're in a job that doesn't excite you. Most people would spend every day complaining. They would focus on frustration, count the hours, and think only about escaping. But someone with a growth mindset asks different questions. They ask, what can I learn here? What skills can I build? How can this situation prepare me for something greater? The situation hasn't changed. The environment hasn't changed. Only the perspective changed. And perspective changes everything. Because the questions you ask yourself determine the direction of your life. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of asking, why am I struggling? Ask, how can I grow through this? Powerful questions create powerful lives. Now let's be clear. Believing things can work out does not mean pretending problems don't exist. It doesn't mean smiling while ignoring reality. Life will test you. There will be painful moments. There will be failures. There will be losses. There will be times when things simply don't go according to plan. But confidence isn't believing bad things never happen. Confidence is believing you can handle what happens. That's a huge difference, because truly successful people aren't people who avoided failure. They're people who refuse to stay down. Think about every major achievement in history. Behind every success story, there were mistakes. There were setbacks. There were moments of doubt. The difference is persistence. Most people stop too early. Most people quit because they assume difficulty means they're on the wrong path. But often, difficulty simply means growth is taking place. Imagine digging for treasure. You dig for days. Nothing. You dig for weeks. Still nothing. Months pass. No reward. Most people would stop. Most people would decide there's nothing there. But what if success was only one step away? What if the next effort mattered most? You never know. That's why persistence matters. Because winners and quitters often feel exactly the same emotions. Both become tired. Both become discouraged. Both become uncertain. The difference is one continues and one stops. Persistence creates possibilities. Now let's talk about something equally powerful. Gratitude. Most people spend their lives focusing on what's missing. They think, I'll be happy when I get more money. I'll be happy when I get success. I'll be happy when life becomes easier. But happiness doesn't begin somewhere in the future. It starts now. Because if you cannot appreciate what you already have, you'll struggle to appreciate what eventually arrives. Gratitude changes your focus. Instead of seeing limitations, you begin noticing blessings. Instead of seeing scarcity, you begin noticing abundance. Every day you have things others wish they had. Health, time, opportunity, people who care about you, moments you often overlook. And when you begin appreciating small things, life feels richer. Gratitude doesn't make problems disappear. It changes your relationship with them. Now let's talk about fear. Fear stops more dreams than failure ever could. People fear rejection. People fear judgment. People fear making mistakes. People fear looking foolish. And because of that fear, many never begin. They stay inside comfortable routines. They avoid risks. They postpone goals. They wait for confidence. But confidence rarely comes first. Action creates confidence. You become confident by doing difficult things. You become stronger by facing discomfort. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action while fear still exists. Because growth always lives outside comfort zones. Everything you want, success, confidence, progress, achievement, requires stepping into uncertainty. And uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not danger. Discomfort often means growth. Now let's talk about failure differently. Many people think failure is proof they're not capable. But failure isn't proof. Failure is information. Failure teaches. Failure reveals weaknesses. Failure exposes areas that need improvement. A child learning to walk falls repeatedly. But nobody says, this child failed. Why? Because we understand falling is part of learning. So why do adults judge themselves so harshly? Why do we expect perfection immediately? Growth requires mistakes. Progress requires effort. Improvement requires repetition. Every successful person was once inexperienced. Every expert was once a beginner. And every achievement started with imperfect action. Remember that. Now consider your thoughts. Most people never realize how much their internal conversations shape their lives. Pay attention to what you repeatedly say to yourself. Do you constantly think, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I can't do this? Because thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions create results. Change your thoughts and you begin changing your direction. Instead of saying, I have to do this, say, I get to do this. Instead of, this is impossible, say, how can I make this possible? Small language shifts create powerful mental shifts. Words carry energy. Choose them carefully. Let's talk about responsibility. Many people spend years blaming circumstances. They blame their past, their environment, their opportunities, other people. And while some situations are genuinely difficult, blame keeps you powerless. Because if someone else controls your future, then you lose control. Personal responsibility changes everything. Responsibility says, I may not control everything happening around me, but I control my response. That mindset is powerful because your response creates your future. Your attitude creates your direction. Your decisions create your life. Now think about this. What if every challenge carried hidden value? What if every setback strengthened you? What if every disappointment redirected you towards something better? Even if you cannot see the lesson immediately, trust that growth is happening. Sometimes understanding arrives later. Sometimes clarity appears after difficulty ends. Life often makes sense looking backward. But while moving forward, trust becomes necessary. Trust yourself. Trust your ability. Trust your resilience. Because you are stronger than you think. You have already survived difficult moments. You have already overcome challenges. You have already made it through days you once thought impossible. Remember that. You've done hard things before. You can do hard things again. And finally, understand this. Your future isn't created by occasional motivation. It's created by daily decisions. Small choices repeated consistently create extraordinary outcomes. One positive thought, one courageous action, one extra effort, one refusal to quit. Over time, those small moments create massive change. So wake up every morning with this mindset. No matter what happens today, I will learn, I will grow, I will adapt, I will keep moving forward. Because life may not always go according to plan. But that doesn't mean life is working against you. Sometimes challenges are preparing you. Sometimes obstacles are strengthening you. Sometimes closed doors are redirecting you. Keep believing, keep acting, keep moving. And trust this, your story isn't over yet. The best chapters may still be waiting ahead.